Joining us for more analysis on this is former Pakistani Senator Afrasiab Khattak. He joins us now from Islamabad. Good to have you on the show, sir. Coming into this all-important one-day conference, I'm not sure that a lot of people were optimistic, especially considering the fact that right after the crisis, there were a lot of countries struggling to show their real commitment in terms of crisis management. The Pakistani Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif, was hoping for 8. He got 10. This is a good sign.
Yes, exactly. It is a race against time because 8% of the country's GDP is affected by the floods. Because funds have been diverted to 33 million people who were affected by floods, mostly in Sindh and Balochistan province. You see, there are resource gaps, very serious gaps, and painful choices have to be made. I think Pakistan needs $16 billion plus for reconstruction and rehabilitation of the affected flood victims. But you see, there can be very, very difficult choices because the money is still not in sight, although there were generous promises today. But let's see as to how the world is prepared to throw a lifeline to the millions, 33 million people affected by floods in Pakistan.
Senator, how much of an example do you think that Pakistan will set for the rest of the world, especially in light of what the message it tried to push at COP27 at the summit in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, where it floated this idea of creating this loss and damage fund for these countries that are on the suffering end of the adverse effects of climate change? I mean, do you feel that with Pakistan getting a little bit more money than it anticipated, if this money comes in a timely fashion and it does start saving the lives or actually helps the millions of people get back to some sort of normalcy, that this will set a good example for the dozens, if not hundreds of other countries that are in the potential danger zone of the climate crisis?
Yes, Pakistan plans to spend half of this $16 billion plus dollars from its own resources, but it will need the other half from the world. And we do not know whether it will come in time or not. And in this conference, there were encouraging speeches from European Union, World Bank, and other important international supporters. But Pakistan is facing very serious problems because its economy is in shambles and it needs lots of money from IMF and also other donors like Saudi Arabia, China, and other countries that have been traditionally supporting Pakistan financially. But actually, this $16 billion are just phase one, because Pakistan has to prepare itself for further floods next year in the monsoon, because Pakistan has some of the most widest plains, flood plains in the world, and most of the glaciers in Himalaya, Karakoram, and Hindu Kush mountains. Okay. It has the biggest number of glaciers outside the Arctic region. So it needs to invest lots of money to prepare for future, which is really a big challenge for a country which has a struggling economy.
Okay, I mean, you say that phase one is going to cost $16 billion. Of that, it was initially planned that Pakistan put up about half of that from its own coffers, so $8 billion. This is a lot of money that's for a country that is struggling financially. I mean, we know that that the country's finance minister is sort of trying to kickstart talks in terms of a bailout deal with the IMF. I mean, there are a lot of balls in the air for Pakistan, and everything needs to be sort of in line, especially financially. And it's a difficult time.
Yes, sure. But Pakistan is encouraged by the support provided by UN General Secretary and UNDP, who have helped a lot in this current conference. And Pakistan hopes to work with the UN and other international agencies to prepare for this. and it will need a lot of homework and hard work on behalf of Pakistani leaders, particularly Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and his team, because the country really will have to use resources very carefully to plan for coming years, because it's not a one-time affair. It's going to be repeated again probably next year. So Pakistan has to be ready for what is called the environmental carnage, as the UN General Secretary called it.
Okay. Former Pakistani Senator Afrasiab Khattak, thank you very much for joining us live from Islamabad. Enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you for having me.